What's up, Tabletop gamers? It's Matt from Tabletop Everything, and today we're going to be looking at the game Dungeon Mayhem. Dungeon Mayhem is an action-packed card game where you beat your friends into submission with tons of different, unique, individualized heroes, as well as the decks that come with them. Now, the first thing you need to get is the core set of Dungeon Mayhem. It comes with 4 unique heroes that all do tons of wildly different little things. It comes with Leah, the cleric, Sutha, the barbarian, Azan, the wizard, and Oriax, the thief and rogue. Me. But that's not all. Shortly after the release of the main portion of the game, they released a very teeny tiny expansion box that comes with 2 heroes specifically. Well, technically 3, because in this box, it comes with the dynamic duo themselves, Minx and his little furry-some, handsome hamster, Boo. As well as Jaheira the druid. Uncut. Now, with each of these boxes, you have 6 hero cards that each have their own individualized and unique 28 card decks, as well as a reference card that tells you about their specific mighty power. The mighty power is what makes each of these heroes unique, and the way that their decks play often tailor to their special mighty powers. So, starting off, if we look at Leah, her first mighty power says, choose any card in your discard pile and add it to your hand. Awesome. Her last mighty power says, destroy all armor cards in play. So you building a pillow fortress over there, mister? No, not happening. If we move on to Sutha, her first mighty power says you heal 1 for each opponent. Then you damage 1 for each opponent. A little bit of love, a little bit of hurt. Her second mighty power says each player, including you, discards their hand and then draws 3 cards. Amazing. Amazing. Hand size all day. Her last mighty power says destroy 1 armor card in play. Once again, a little hate towards those Pillow Fortress players. Now, if we move on to Azan, the wizard, his first mighty power is Fireball. No, that's it, Fireball. No, I'm just kidding. His first mighty power says each player, including you, takes 3 damage. So as you can see, it's Fireball. His second mighty power says take an armor card that an opponent has in play and gain control of it. Nice Pillow Fortress over there. It's mine. I want pillows. I want that Tempur-Pedic pillow that you got right there. It's mine now. I got 3 of them. How you doing? With his last mighty power, it says swap hit points with another player. Yeah, that's it. If we move on to Oriax, the last character in the core set of Dungeon Mayhem, he is the shifty rogue, the edgelord emo boy from 2008 that's always in every party ever. And is always played by Tabletop Everything's Andrew. Wink wink. No, but his first mighty power says none of your opponent's cards affect you or your armor cards until next turn. So he disappears into the shadows. That's it. Can't touch me. Ain't nothing happening. Can't touch this. No. His second mighty power says destroy 1 armor card in play. I will say that each of these heroes, or at least most of them, seem to have some kind of hate on armor cards. I don't know why, but they do. But they still have tons of other abilities and powers that make them unique. As for instance, Oriax's last mighty power says steal the top card of any player's deck and play it. Now obviously with Oriax's last ability, that's very roguish. I'm stealing your cards, can't do nothing about it. Have at you. Now, if we move on to the expansion pass characters, let's start with Jaheira, the druid. She changes forms. That's it. That's all she does. No, I'm kidding. Her first mighty power says you can make an animal noise to damage each opponent. So yes, you let out a good and then you do 1 damage to each opponent. That was the best roar you ever heard. Don't act like it isn't. With her second mighty power, it says in bear form, you heal 1. In wolf form, you damage 1. So in bear form, you hibernate. In wolf form, you attack. You go for the neck. With her last mighty power, you may play a form card for free. Obviously, the form cards for Jaheira are the ones that switch between her wolf form and her bear form. As if I needed to explain that. Now lastly, the big man himself, accompanied by the little man himself. You have Minx and Boo. With Minx and Boo specifically, their deck is all about causing mayhem and sitting back and laughing at your friends as you deal damage to them, take away their life, and do a bunch of other crazy things. You can tell they're chaotic by looking at their very first mighty power. Each player gives their hit point total to the player on the right. Hey, I have 2 life. You have 2 life. Hey, oh, you got 3 life. Now I've got 3 life. With their second mighty power, you draw a card from the top of each opponent's deck. I don't have to explain that one. Now, the deadliest mighty power that Minsk and Boo has to their disposal, literally, is their last mighty power. It says your damage cards deal 1 bonus damage until end of turn. So, your damagey damage cards do extra damage. Now, with these 2 boxes themselves, you have enough to have tons of fun with your friends as you beat them into submission with plastic little cards, or cardboard, or paper. Either way, you have tons of fun. But, that's not all. Monster Madness. Monster Madness. Monster Madness adds 6 unique monsters to the game. It's enough about them heroes. We don't care about the heroes. We care about the heroes. And honestly, I love the monsters more than the heroes. The heroes are fun. Definitely pick them up. In fact, pick all of these up. But the monsters. The monsters is where it really shines. If we look at our monster cards, if we look at the first monster that comes in the Monster Madness set, you have Delilah Deathray. She's beautiful. And if you tell her otherwise, you'll die. With her first mighty power, it says each of your opponents can choose to praise your greatness. And if they don't, damage them twice. So you literally go around the table and get praised. And for those who don't, they take damage. With her second mighty power, until your next turn, choose the target of all damage cards. Guess what? You want to damage me? No. Damage yourself. Or that guy. Or girl. With Delilah's last mighty power, it says you deal 2 damage to each opponent with no armor cards in play, and then you destroy all armor cards in play. Yeah. Moving on to the second monster in the box. You have Mimi LaChase, the Mimic. The chair that looks oh so comfortable to sit in until it eats you. His first mighty ability, or mighty power. Play this card as a copy of any other armor card in play. Surprise, surprise, he's a mimic. He's copying stuff. His second mighty power. Use the top listed mighty power of the player to the left or to the right. Nice mighty power over there, Minskaboo. I want it. Switch your life points with me. Nice mighty power over there, Abzan. Fireball. Deal 3 damage to everyone, including myself. Wait a minute. Nope. With Mimi LaChase's last mighty power, make one player's hit points equal to another player's hit points. Hey, look at that guy over there with 1 HP. Guess what? You have 1 HP now. Death. Now, small disclaimer. The next monster hero is probably my favorite. He's big, he's gelatinous, and he's probably got the best name ever created. His name is Blorb. No, his name is Blorp. His first mighty power. Destroy an armor card and then heal for each starting armor on that card. His second mighty power. This turn, your damage ignores all armor cards in play. Because guess what? He's running you over. You're inside him now. You don't have armor. Well, you do. But you're floating inside him. Yeah. His last mighty power. When this card is destroyed, deal 2 damage to everyone. Now obviously, a lot of his cards in Blorp's deck are going to have a little skull and crossbones there. When those cards are destroyed, you deal 2 damage. But he's so cute. Just look at him. That face. You can't say no to that face. And just wait until you see the cards that are in his deck. They're even more beautiful. Now, to the next monster on the list. Probably my second favorite deck to play. It is Hoots Magoots. Hoots Magoots! The owlbear that loves parties and dancing. His first mighty power says, destroy a shield card and then damage for each starting shield on that card. Now, the second mighty power. The most fun, the most unique. Each player may do a little dance and then draw a card. You draw a card for each player that danced. Now sadly, if your friends are lame, they probably won't dance. So you need new friends. Find friends that dance. That way you get a big bountiful hand of cards that you can't do anything with. Just kidding. That you could do tons of stuff with. For his last mighty power, it says, until your next turn, your attacks hit all opponents. So you go in a bearful rage. That's right, bearful rage. After none of your friends dance and do the second ability, you go in a bearful rage and you kill everyone. Ignoring that. On to the second to last monster in the set. You have Lord Cinderpuff. For his first mighty power, you deal 1 damage to all opponents. Then you deal 2 damage to 1 opponent. And then after all that's said and done, just because, you do another damage to another opponent. Why? I don't know. It's random. But it's cool. Because he's Lord Cinderpuff. And he's got a tuxedo and a top hat and a monocle. So he's cool, so he gets away with it. His second mighty power, discard your hand and then deal damage equal to the number of cards you discarded. To a maximum of 5. So no big super hand damage. Yeah, sad face, but still, up to 5 damage. That's good. That's enough to kill someone. Almost. For his last mighty power, each player must do a damage, heal, or draw a card. Starting with you, you go to the right. Guess what? You draw a card, I draw a card. Guess what? You heal, I heal. Guess what? You do damage, guess what? I'm doing damage. Most of the time you're going to get picked for damage, but guess what? You're going to do damage back to them. So, you know, it is what it is. He's kind of cool. Then, last but not least, you have the big man himself. Dr. Tentaculus. 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 Tentacles. Tentaculus. Dr. Tentaculus. Dr. T. You have Dr. T, the Mind Flayer, with his spectacles. His first mighty power says, swap your hand with an opponent's hand. Mind control. Give me your hand, I want that. And then you can have mine. Not really mind control. Mind swap. His second mind power, really? His second mighty power says, add the top card of each opponent's discard to your hand. Pretty good. You can get a pretty big hand, especially if you have more friends to play with than just 2. His last mighty power. Damage each opponent once for each card they have in their hand. To a maximum of 5. I don't know why they keep doing them a maximum of 5. I guess because each player only has 10 life. If I didn't say that already. So, if you built like a super big hand, you just kind of kill everyone at once. It's not that fun. You might not have friends anymore to play with. Maybe, I don't know. But so yeah, Dr. T is the last monster in the beautiful Dungeon Mayhem Monster Madness box. As you can see here, you have 6 hero characters and 6 monsters for a total of 12 characters. Quick maths. Each of them have their own unique play style with their mighty powers and the decks that go with them. offering tons and tons of very unique gameplays with your friends, if you have any. Sorry if you don't. But yes, each of your games are going to be different each time, as long as you keep picking different characters. And it offers tons and tons and tons of hours of fun gameplay, and it's well worth the money. I think you can honestly pick all 3 of these up for maybe less than $50. Not 100% sure on the price there, but I'm pretty sure it's a very, very affordable game set. Of course, I don't know if they come in a set, you have to buy them individually, but with that said, offers tons and tons of fun times to be had with your friends. This is Matt from Tabletop Everything, telling you guys, if you haven't already, don't be a lame or a square. Buy Dungeon Mayhem. It's tons of fun, offers tons and tons of hours of awesome gameplay with you and your friends. Super quick games, anywhere from 10 to 15 minutes, if even that. Just depends on how awesome you are. So, if you guys are interested, I'm also going to have a how to play series for Dungeon Mayhem itself, annotated by a link up here somewhere. And yes, like I said, I'm going to go through a very brief little video of showing you guys how to play and explaining the individual markings on the cards and the abilities as well. So look forward to that. Just reminding you that Tabletop Everything is your one-stop shop for everything tabletop. We got battle reports. We got Magic Commander coming. We got Pokemon unboxings, as always, galore, because there's never enough of those. Magic unboxings, Magic gameplay, Warhammer gameplay, Necromunda. We got everything. As you can see, it's coming down the pipeline, and it's coming very soon. Just remember to like, comment, and subscribe, and hit that notification bell. That way you know when one of our new videos comes up of us either playing a game or doing a little overview/review of board games like this, or even card games or whatever else may be in store. But yep, this is Matt from Tabletop Everything. See you next time.
Oh yeah, you already know what it is. It's a Tabletop Everything exclusive, coming at you.